can't do none of this. You know, I'm like,
right.
now with him.
T-Man, check this, brother. It's also going back to the origin of controlling the narrative of the media, because that's why it's an honor to have Kam on here, because he stands for an organization that's hated by the media. So that's why I love this dialogue that we have in him on right now. And another question to shoot him all about is people that, you know, that show love to the nation. It's like when they go on and die, they pretty much try to control the narrative of the story. You've seen that with how they do with Malcolm X. You've seen that how they do with Muhammad Ali.
Right.
And even when I'm seeing how they try to do it with Tupac. You know how they try to use, like, Tupac and Malcolm X, and they try to big them up and make it like they would stand up guys, but they didn't like it or respect the nation get down. But Tupac actually wanted you on his album.
Oh,
and
wow.
he always had that respect.
When he first got out of jail, speaking of that Made in America album, my second album in '95, that's the first thing he told me when he called me. One of the homies, he had called me from the studio. He had just got home, and he was like, "Kam, man, you know, that song you made, Trust Nobody, man, that got me through my whole time, man. You know what I'm saying? I got that tatted on my neck and such and this and that. Like, he, you know, his whole I ain't gonna say his whole get down, but he was heavily influenced by, of course, by LA and by brothers like myself. Like we had a you know, a common denominator. You know what I'm saying? The Panthers and the nation, of course, we know the common denominator. That came out of the nation. That came from Malcolm when Malcolm left, and you know he wanted to pick up the arms and you know and do things a different way or whatnot. But it was still the same goal. You know what I'm saying? So. And like King was saying about you know, controlling the narrative and who tells the stories, and like, you know, you promoting Tupac like he was this and promoting Malcolm like this and promoting Martin Luther King like this, all after they dead and gone. But when they was here, you wasn't messing with them at all. When he was here, nobody was saying their name. You know, Malcolm wasn't no top news story, and he definitely wasn't no hero to this machine, to this media machine. And that's why, like you say, you know, you got respect for me for being here and knowing that I represent something that's against their narrative and they news machine. That's why I personally respect Trump. I don't agree with him. I know he's the enemy, but I see who he calls his enemy, and he calls the news fake news, and that's all code language for those that he know owns and controls that news media, which are Zionist Jews. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying the all white Jewish people. I don't have no problem with, you know, people that really practice the Torah or the teachings of Moses and trying to be right and moral and all that. But like what Minister Farrakhan has an issue with, and what they try to punish Nick Cannon recently for, and that's why this whole Culture Vulture song came out about Vlad is you know, they know that they're using the media, their media machine, to smear and slander and sway, you know, our population, the ignorant masses, to hate who they want us to hate or to love who they want us to love. So, like I said, Trump, he's saying, you know, the news is his enemy. You know, the mainstream news is his enemy, because it's a internal or behind the scene deep state war between those camps. You know, behind the scene that those same media owners are trying to use their media to pull us ignorant black masses to be pawns and soldiers on their side unknowingly, to go against Trump and his camp and his supporters. And when we ain't supposed to have nothing to do with that, because the real terrorists and the real threat are white militia. You know, it's not the blacks. You know what I'm saying? But the Zionists want to use us ignorant blacks and manipulate us through their media by our emotions to be the soldiers that's going to fight Trump's white militia and wipe us both out. And they sit back and